Michael Keaton reveals why he returned as Batman after 30 years.
He's psychotic.
Some people say the same thing about you.
Ah, the best geek news.
Hello, in a recent interview with THR, Michael Keaton responded to why he decided to return as Batman, saying, and I quote, "Frankly, in the back of my head, I always thought, I bet I could go back and nail that." With all due respect, Mr. Keaton, you already nailed that, and anyone who says you didn't might as well be Vicky Vale.
I don't know anything about Batman.
Keaton also said that he had to read the script more than 3 times before he understood the multiverse aspect of it, but also said what's really interesting is how much more he understood Batman on a whole other level this time around. So I, for one, am excited to see what he's bringing that we haven't seen before.
It's showtime.
Also coming from THR, there is buzz that Venom Let There Be Carnage is possibly going to get delayed again.
Oh, not again.
Now obviously Sony has bought themselves a little time with the new release date, but concerns are still high that theaters won't be back to speed by October, and they're keeping a very careful eye on the situation. If they do postpone it again, it will be the 5th time they've delayed the film.
Guys, you do not want to do this.
Meanwhile, those same sources are saying that even if other movies start getting delayed again, No Time to Die will likely stick to its planned October 8th release date simply because each restart costs many millions of dollars in marketing. There's also the possibility that MGM might look to sell the film to a streaming service like Amazon, similar to what Sony did recently with Hotel Transylvania 4 when they sold the streaming rights to Amazon for $100 million. Peekaboo! Speaking of Hotel Transylvania 4, why even make another one if you're not going to use Adam Sandler for it? Makes you wonder what happened.
Don't ask me again!
Coraline is returning to theaters for one night only on August 24th. I only mention it because I love Henry Selick, I love Neil Gaiman, I love stop motion animation, and I love Coraline. It was also just announced that Anthony Mackie has closed a deal to star in Captain America 4. And while we always assumed he'd be back, this is confirmation that the movie will focus on his version of Captain America rather than Chris Evans returning as some rumors might have you believe. Alright, let's talk about today's episode of What If, so full spoilers ahead, last chance.
But you gave me a warning already.
In my humble opinion, today's episode, What If T'Challa Became Star-Lord, was a vast improvement over last week's episode. Obviously, it was great to see Chadwick Boseman in the role of T'Challa again, very bittersweet, but that aside, the episode was still better. The pacing was tighter, the jokes weren't as forced, and the cameos were king in this one. Who didn't get a kick out of seeing Thanos be a good guy?
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
And after what, like 7 years, we finally got to see Howard the Duck again in the MCU, and this felt like a perfect way to use him, because I like him, but you don't really need to give that guy his own movie.
That's it. No more Mr. Nice Duck.
I also brought this up on Twitter, but at the end, when the Watcher says that Peter Quill meeting his dad Ego leads to the end of the world, how are you not going to tell us that story?
Whoa. But I wanted more.
If you want more, I talk a lot about What If and a bunch of other stuff on today's episode of Comic Books Podcast Phase 0, which you can watch on Twitch or download wherever you listen to podcasts.
No, that's enough.
Hope you like the show. Now follow me on Twitter at Chris Killian or Instagram at CK Comedy. Like the video for support, subscribe, and turn on notifications, or I will break you.